You in there? If your kid is whining about not getting an iPhone or the right RC car or whatever that junk on Amazon is that they wanted, you show them this video. And you let them know there's still people in this country, in America, that live like this. That's a dog kennel with a tin roof and a bunch of tarps that I gave. Tarps and plastic that I gave to my neighbor. This is a wood stove I just built for him, so he doesn't freeze to death in there. And I'm not fond of this guy. I've had a lot of problems with him. I don't like him at all. But Christ calls us to put our will aside and to follow his will. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So this was a stove I made for myself for a purpose I'm not going to get into, but it was made out of an air compressor tank. I built hinges. This was actually the axle for the wheels, and I just turned it into a hinge. There's the door, so it's still got that. If you grind that weld on the end of a tank, it'll leave you that nice lip so that the door still shuts pretty good. There's a grate, and then this air intake, that's to stick outside the wall so that it's not pulling cold air in around every corner. Let's say you put it in a cabin. You know, that draft air, combustion air is going to have to get pulled in somehow, so why not have it come in from the outside? That way you don't draw a negative. And there's a little let to try to blow that air underneath the grate. It could have been better, but I used to have a smoke pipe at the front, and it was a bad idea. It let smoke billow out, so I moved it to the back. That's a stainless pipe. Here's some smoke pipe and a homemade damper that I made out of threaded rod and probably one of the circle scraps. It's probably the scrap of metal from this circle is what the knockout from torching it is what I welded to that threaded rod with a spring right there so the damper doesn't slide. But anyway, I'm giving this stuff to him, and it's important if you want blessings in your life. It's important to do the will of God before the will of yourself. If you hate your neighbor, God cannot bless you. That's direct, open rebellion against him. He says explicitly, love thy neighbor, right? So, no matter what our neighbor's done to us, is it easier to smash somebody's face, or is it easier to obey the Lord's will?
Smash somebody's face.
It's hard to obey the Lord, isn't it? But that's the bigger thing to do. Hell is real, and the only escape from it is Jesus Christ. Hell is very real. So, God says in his Bible that those who he brings with him to heaven are those who do the will of the Father who sent him. And that's whose will this is right here. This is not my will. This is hard for me to do. I have to overcome my will to do this, but it's the right thing to do. The purposes of this video is not to draw accolades to myself or get a congratulations. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. What I want is you to consider your own salvation and potentially your own damnation. Because every little thing that the world is telling you is not a sin, that it's okay, that everybody does it, they're all wrong. Every one of them is punishable by death. And someday we will all give an account. And every knee will bend. Every tongue will confess. Think about it.